Okay then, Raiders, we are back and we've got loads to go over today as Arc Raiders is celebrating a lovely little Valentine's gift. It's not something that I thought that I would say, but it appears that it's definitely the case. On top of that, we've also got an award as Arc Raiders is still winning awards in that sector. And we have got to take a look over a few articles as it appears that our ginormous Embark CEO is coming up with the weirdest statements known to man, and it appears that you may well be being analysed as players. We're going to see what it is that's going on inside of the game right now. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe and post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, Instant Gaming, the platform where you can get your video games cheaper for PC and console with the best deals, offers, promotions, and discounts, all running up to 70% off on old and new games alike. And it's an absolute no-brainer, man. The link's in the description for that one. And if you want to get your hands on some free Raider tokens, very simply head down to the comment section and put in any coloured love heart and it'll enter you in. We'll announce that in a few days' time, but with that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now inside of Arc Raiders. So starting off, some of you guys who have already logged into the game may well have noticed that you've received a Bonded Bolts free gift coming from Embark Studios. You received a beautiful little notice that states right here, "Hey Raider, today Speranzians celebrate the companions that always have their back." And so do we. Mark the occasion with the gift from us, the Bonded Bolts, Speranza's emblem of shared resistance. Stay safe, the Arc Raiders team. I absolutely love that. This is a cool little backpack charm. Nothing too big, nothing too significant, but it's nice just to say a little thank you and give you guys back for a little bit of a cool holiday here. And our Valentine's holiday does seem to really count for the blessed ones, as we've got two bolted characters back to back holding blades. I absolutely love this, man. It was a really, really cool little gift. I really do appreciate it. We should see some more of this in with later holidays as well. Moving on from that, though, it appears that Arc Raiders is defying all odds and seems to be winning things left, right, and center as the award ceremonies round in the year do start to happen, and DICE have actually voted them the online game of the year as they managed to win the 29th annual awards over at DICE. Absolutely amazing that we can still see them winning these things left, right, and center. Arc Raiders seems to be one of those games that defies all odds, and it just seems to work, and I don't think that people really understand as to how much, as apparently they're saying that it's bigger than just a game. This article from PC Gamer stated that Arc Raiders is almost like a social experiment. Embark Studio CEO reveals a neurology professor encouraged him to submit the game for scientific testing to study player behavior. He expands the details right here and states that he's read a bunch of articles saying that Arc Raiders is almost like a social experiment, and I kind of is, and I love that. I genuinely love the fact that that's what it is. I actually had a conversation at dinner 3 days ago with a very prominent professor in neurology who had gotten to know about the game and said, listen, you have no idea what you've built. Forget about the game itself. From just the whole idea of the psychological experimentation and social experimentation and what this game can be, she, a good friend of mine, basically said you should go and do a collab or work with people from the medical field to study what behaviors are triggered in Arc Raiders. Now, this is absolutely huge, and I do actually agree with that, and he actually gives out some really good examples as to why that would actually be the case. He says right here, there's horror stories of players turning the same Arc Raiders map into a death maze with 65 door barricades, 13 deployable barricades, and jolt mines. The guilty party even named himself the engineer of chaos. Yeah, put that person under a microscope. Now, I do think that this is actually the case, and I think that actually that's what gave this game its legs and made it as popular as it is right now, is the fact that it's just different in terms of what we experience inside of gaming now. Everybody yearns for the need to connect with each other, and Arc Raiders actually gave us a viable way of being able to do so. And I think the proof behind the pudding was that a game that has proximity chat that focuses on the PvE access is absolutely perfect and showcased exactly what it is that the gaming scene actually needs. And for me personally, it is absolutely incredible. Let's see where it is that we can take it in the future. As well as that, PC Gamer also provided an article to help you guys with that new shared watch. Yeah, you guys already know what I'm talking about. That new event. Apparently, people have been able to get it done in a single evening by just crafting one easy to craft item, and that is the Seeker grenades. Yeah, I know. Absolutely mental, as you only need one crude explosive and 2 arc alloys to be able to craft them. It's really, really simple to actually do, and the thing behind it is that they seek the arc themselves. You essentially are just throwing them around in random locations, and it will essentially just lead towards the arc itself. causing the damage that it needs to cause, and you can essentially have it done in just one evening. Hopefully that's helped you guys out, as I know a lot of PvP issues are happening right now in the scene. Although what's really weird is we'll take a look at the comments from a previous video, because it appears that it's not happening to absolutely everybody, which leads to a really big question. But we are going to be going into a bit of glitch territory, as another glitch is now found. Now, I don't want to advertise this in any way, shape or form, so we are going to be blocking out the name and stuff of those people who have found it, and I'm not going to be actually playing it. But there is now a new invisible exploit that has now just dropped. Now, it is specific to certain locations. It is not something that you can just go invisible and run around. You are in specific locations, but it is problematic because in those locations, they could essentially just camp and wait out until certain people arrive. I do think this is a massive, massive problem. I've already sent it over to Embark Studios, but fingers crossed that manages to get patched up very, very soon, because we don't need things like that happening inside of the game, making it more toxic than what we already experience. If you guys do find any more glitches, any more issues or bugs, do let me know via the Discord in the description. Send it over and we can obviously help get that put out there so that we can get these things fixed a lot quicker. Moving on from that, though, we've got to take a look at our top comments from the previous video. We went over a huge stealth buff that was made to the security breach lockers, which was a huge one, to say the least. And for me personally, probably one of the better buffs that we've been receiving of recently. You guys had a lot to say, as there were some more exploits that have appeared as well. This first one right here states, I finished the event last night. All of my lobbies have been PvE only. Raiders helping raiders and giving each other stuff and helping each other out. Now, this is really, really odd to me, because I have literally just kind of given up now. I've into the PvP aspect of things, but I can't seem to get out of it. It's been one of those problems where the last week or so I have not shot at a single person. I get a really nice lobby, then the next lobby is just people just raiding me with Venators and Stitches, and then I move into the next lobby and everyone's kind again dancing at evac, and then I go into the next one and the Venators and Il Toros are back out, and it's really, really odd, because I'm just really unsure as to how the matchmaking system is actually working. That I reckon if I did 10 matches in a row, didn't take a weapon or just didn't fire at anybody, I'd have different experiences on all 10 rounds. It's really, really weird to me, but I cannot understand this matchmaking system at all at the moment. And next up, this one coming from Chris Factor states, so far I've only had one person shoot at me since the shared watch event started, and I've saved by 2 other raiders, and they bandaged me and let me crawl all the way to extract and supported me the whole way. Now, that is absolutely crazy. I don't think I've ever had anybody do that the entire time that I've played. Don't get me twisted, I've had a lot of defibs. A lot of defibs be used, but never have I been extracted by players who actually escorted me the entire way. That is absolutely incredible. And this final one right here states, custom loadouts, autocraft. Now, I actually read this and I ran off of it on a tangent with my friend when I was looking at it, but that is incredible. Imagine having a custom loadout and the moment you clicked it, it automatically crafted all of the parts inside of it. And the only way that you were able to actually use it was if you had all of the bits available to craft, or you had all of the bits available in your inventory. I personally think that that would be amazing. I'm sure that the main coding behind that may be a little bit more complicated than most, and actually having like an auto-craft system of everything in that custom loadout may well be a bit difficult to actually materialize, but the idea of it is still pretty cool. And for me personally, it's definitely something that I would love to have inside of the game. Nonetheless, again, a quiet official news day, but it is one of those days that we have to go in and see what it is that's happening. If you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe, post notifications turned on. Thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate you all, and as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.